Hello. Sunday morning, just watched me Laura Koonsberg fix. I like to watch her, just try and get a roundup of the week's news. But what I saw yesterday on TikTok was a video by a group whining on about farmers are now going to be paid to grow no food on their land. They're going to be paid to put it into nectar plots and wild bird plots. And they're having a right hissy fit about it. Well, I'll try and say very quickly why this is the case. Historically, we've had direct payments, which means you get paid a fixed amount per acre for the acres that you farm. And the reason we got that is because this is wheat, which could go to make your bread. In this case, it's going to go to make biscuits or animal feed, but it could make biscuits. The reason they give you a direct payment per acre is because the people that buy this stuff want to pay the farmer less than it's cost him to produce it. So this heap of wheat, it's cost me 190 quid a tonne. I know that now. It's cost me 190 pounds a tonne to produce it. And the current market value, I think, is 180 pounds a tonne. So per acre, I've lost 30 quid because I can only grow 3 tonnes to the acre on this sort of land. That's going by the by now because they're going to get rid of direct payments. They're almost phased out. But the government still want to pay something to the farmers because they know that we're producing food at less than the cost of production. So trying to wrap it up nicely for the environmental lobbyists, they now want us to produce nectar plots, want us to use clover layers, herbal layers, take land out of production, but be paid for doing that. Leave that land for nature, rewild it in some cases, plant trees on it in other cases. These things all obviously have a cost, a huge cost. Sowing nectar plots is a huge cost. But their government are now prepared to pay the farmer to do that. So that is why I was doing this video, really, was to just try and say why farmers are going to get paid for doing that. You wouldn't go and sow hundreds of acres of nectar plot for free for the birds and the bees. Why would a farmer, just because he's got access to the land, doesn't mean he wants to work for free? I'm doing that anyway because this stuff's worth less than it's cost me to produce. The alternative to this, and every farmer in the country would want this, the alternative to being paid to do things like that, nectar plots, environmental plots, direct subsidies, the alternative to that is that the wheat price goes up to, say, £250 a tonne, which means the farmer can then make a fair living, which then means he can pay for things like this, which he needs, which is keeping other people in jobs, the people that put these things together, the tractors. These things are not cheap. I will do a video on the costings of a tractor, how I see it, and then you may appreciate why a farmer needs to make a profit. There's a combine over there. One of them new now, be £300,000. Anyway, we're getting off the subject a bit. If the wheat was £250 a tonne, which is a more reasonable figure to work with, and the farmer was making a profit, the cost of food in the shop would rise. So the reason that the government keep the cost of the wheat down is so the food is cheap in the shops. And the way they keep the cost of the wheat down is by paying the farmer the subsidy. Now, that was a direct subsidy per acre. It is now going to be a payment in way of environmental features or features for public good, apparently. So that is why there's subsidies. I've tried to explain it as fast as I can. I know it's a lot of me rambling on. We're not making loads of money and taking loads of money off the government. They're just paying us to do something different than grow wheat. And we can all grow wheat, and farmers want to grow crops. It's just got to be grown at the right price.